Libra, welcome to your weekly tarot reading. Let's get started and see what messages we have for Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising positions for the week ahead, keeping in mind that these are general readings and may not resonate for everyone. So make sure to check out your other placements, and if you're looking for a personal reading, I am offering a promotion for the month of May, so have a look at the description box below and get the details because it's a good time to get a reading if you've been wanting one. All right, my friends, let's get started here for Libra and see what the energy is around Libra for the week ahead. Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We're going to do a Celtic cross. What is the current energy around Libra? Ooh, Tower. Libra. Okay. Amazing first card to receive. So your current energy suggests that there are some things that need to get cleared out, and that they may get cleared out outside of your control, and that your job is to just go with the flow and allow these things to go. If they need to go, they got to go, right? We got to trust this divine energy that redirects us for our highest good. Now, let's see, what's the obstacle here for Libra on this tower? What is the obstacle here? What is the obstacle for Libra? Okay, we got 3 cards telling the story of your obstacle. So we see the Hangman, the Two of Cups, and Judgment in reverse. So what this says to me is that one of the obstacles is that it may be hard for you to see things from a different perspective when it comes to this tower moment. Okay, so it may be hard for you to accept that these things have to go. And part of it may involve that you have to be able to sort of look at yourself eye to eye. You might need to really connect with your inner self here to understand why these things are no longer for you, why this foundation isn't stable, and why it's sort of being rocked in a sense by truth. And I say that because you've also got the Judgment card. And so this is a time where something in your life is revealing to you a truth that you have the choice to accept or not accept. But by not accepting it, you're sort of resisting something that, it's like you're refusing change, or you're resisting change. You're afraid of the unknown. You may be trying to avoid something that you don't want to see. You don't want to face it, right? With that Two of Cups, you don't want to face something. Seeing Judgment in reverse also sort of brings to me this idea that there's some kind of shadow aspect in your story that you're not completely facing, and you may be denying it to yourself or to others. And it could involve your truth, because those lightning bolts in the Tower card are truth coming in to destroy something that is sort of standing in your way of having this truth expressed out loud. And it puts you in a position here when we see the Tower. It puts you in a position where something unexpected could be sort of challenging your beliefs and your current perspective. And so you're really being guided to look at something from a different perspective, because you may be unsure of exactly who you are. When I see this Two of Cups, when I see this Judgment in reverse, you may be denying your own truth, your own true essence to yourself. And so something is going to come along unexpectedly, maybe even outside of your control, to sort of show you that new awareness, that new perspective. This is destruction, and it creates rebirth when we see that, because the card that comes after the Tower is the Star card, which is sort of that phoenix rising from the ashes in their authentic naked truth. And it's almost like there's a structure here in your life that isn't serving you. And so allowing this to topple and float out into the ocean, this Tower, is sometimes what we just have to allow that, and resisting that change can sort of bring about more unexpected things that push you in a certain direction. So Libra, you're really getting pushed and pulled right now by the divine, and resisting this is going to make it even more uncomfortable. So trying to really go with the flow. Let's see what's top of mind for Libra as they're going through this. What is top of mind for Libra as they're sort of going through this? Six of Swords. Very interesting. You might want to watch the Virgo reading because it's sort of very similar sort of so far. So leaving certain things in the past, right? Leaving things and moving forward, moving away from things that don't serve us towards things that do. And this could involve limited beliefs. This could involve your narrative that you speak to yourself. This is helping you to transition. So right now, top of mind for you is, how do I transition to move beyond this sort of moment in my life where I can't see myself anymore? And the Tower actually comes in to help break that tension. It removes things for you so that you can have space and see things. This is a really strong moment for you, Libra, where you're sort of taking almost like a spiritual journey towards personal evolution and moving beyond trauma towards some peace, you know, and moving towards something that sort of allows you to receive help, peace, support, and eventually guides you through this personal evolution. So it's a very interesting moment here for you in this reading. Wow. Let's see what's guiding all of this. What's at the base of this? What's at the root of this for Libra? What's at the root of this for Libra? I actually think some of you might be moving, because sometimes seeing that Tower and seeing all of these cards in this arrangement sort of makes me think that you may be moving away from your home. You may be moving away from relationships. You may be moving away from limited beliefs and really moving towards a space where you see your own true essence. And you're sort of stepping into that. Now, what's driving all of this? Eight of Cups in reverse. Eight of Cups is a moment where we have to leave behind something that we may have had an emotional attachment to. And seeing it in reverse says we're resistant to that. So again, Libra, I'm sensing here that you're resistant from moving towards the unknown. Right? It's almost like the devil you know. It's kind of like you're saying that to yourself. Well, yeah, I'm not fulfilled, and I'm not feeling like this is my truth where I am right now, and I'm having a really hard time seeing things from a different perspective and really seeing myself where I am right now. But at the same time, I'm stuck. I'm not going anywhere. Right? That Eight of Cups in reverse can be a time where we choose to hang on to things because walking away might, we think in our minds, might lead to regret. We might fear that it's sort of like that analogy of the devil you know, like that sometimes it's safer to avoid making big life changes because we're afraid of what could be next, instead of seeing that what comes next after the Eight of Cups is the Nine of Cups, which is a moment where we get this intense satisfaction and that our desires are met and that we feel connected with joy to something. And so it's interesting. You're sort of getting this guidance right now to let go, release what doesn't serve you, move away from anything that feels like stagnant energy or stuck energy, leaving your old reality behind to pursue a new reality, and to almost allow yourself to release that thing in your life here that we see in the Tower that is holding you in a place of fear. There's something here for you that you may have outgrown. There's something here that is not meeting your expectations. You know, it's interesting. You may have outgrown some of your expectations. Like, you may be looking at yourself in the mirror and being like, I've changed and this no longer serves me. And so I need to move away from this mentally, emotionally, and physically. like looking at this whole spread, and it feels like sort of a personal growth evolution. Like you're understanding yourself on a different plane here. And seeing the Eight of Wands on the bottom of the deck is a big green light that says go for it. Trust yourself here. Allow this to happen. Don't resist it. Now let's see here. What is the past influence on this for Libra? What are the past influences on this for Libra? Knight of Rods in reverse. So Knight of Rods in reverse is interesting card to see in the past. That's Leo energy. And that's coming through with the World on the bottom of the deck in reverse. So what that makes me feel for you, Libra, seeing this card, sort of feels like in the past, there may have been times where you felt a certain way about something or had an opinion about certain things, and you didn't speak your mind, right? You didn't speak your truth. And I think that has led to some resentments in the past, and you may have been in a place where you sort of bottled things up to the point where then you became explosive with your emotions, and you became really fiery, but in a way that was almost like really hot-headed, like really, really explosive, because you've been bottling and stuffing and not allowing yourself to express your truth. And then boom, like you're in this position now where it's kind of like, it's time. You must, right? Like the Tower is here to help move some of that stagnant energy that has been sitting in the past for some time now, it seems. And it's almost like you're going to get this chance to be free of whatever it is that you've been holding back on, since this past. Let's see what the future influences are. What are the upcoming future influences here? Okay, Libra, this is really interesting. Three of Swords and the Fool. So that tells me that in the upcoming energy for you, there is going to be a painful separation that is going to lead to a new beginning for you that you may not see coming just yet. You might not understand that this actually is going to lead to a brand new beginning. The Fool is zero. That's the card zero. Like you're going to take yourself right back to a new beginning. And it's interesting. It's going to lead to a painful separation, no doubt, seeing that Three of Swords. But the thing I enjoy about the Three of Swords, is that it's necessary. In the moment, it's not a great feeling, granted. It's very painful, and it can sort of create a whole bunch of emotions to come to the surface. But ultimately, again, the thing I appreciate about the Three of Swords is that it does allow us some necessary separation from things that, although we're emotionally attached to them, it's necessary to separate from them, right? And I think that's already on your mind when I see the Six of Swords in this position. It's already on your mind that it's time to go. It's time to get distance from something. And so I see coming up in the near future, you may separate from it indeed. And will it be painful? Yes. Will it lead to a new beginning? Yes. And when we see the Fool, not only is it a new beginning, but it is so full of potential. And it's this idea of being ready for an adventure and being ready for your soul to actually step into this and your true essence, to take this divine leap of faith in order to start a new path, a new journey, one where you don't feel like you're stuffing everything down, and all that does is create resentment and explosive emotions, right? And more, right? Like it can create a lot of other sort of things when we allow stagnant energy to just sit. That can create a host of other complications, right? Now, let's see. How does Libra see themselves right now? How does Libra see themselves? as the Knight of Swords in reverse with the 10 of Wands on your back and the Sun in reverse. Very interesting. So right now you are seeing things very pessimistically, which is, I think, why you're needing to see things from a different perspective. There's a part of you that's like new beginning schminning. There's no such thing. Nothing ever works out. And you're resisting change because, hey, the devil you know, right? Although you're uncomfortable and you know it doesn't serve you where you are right now, it's almost like you don't want to rock the boat. Yeah? You don't want to rock the boat. Well, seeing the Tower and the Knight of Swords, I just want to show you that this is the Tower right there. See that flaming Tower and the Knight of Swords? So this is happening. This is outside of your control at this point. This change is just going to keep knocking on your door until it just changes on its own. And then you have no choice but to either run after it or to accept it. And seeing the 10 here of Wands tells me that there's an immense amount of stress on your shoulders, that you're carrying the burden of something that could become a harvest, right? Those wands are things that you have grown all year, right? And it's the season to collect your harvest. But at the same time, 10 of Wands can be a time where we're just exhausted from doing things in a way that doesn't serve us anymore. And it's like you're ready to put those wands down and start something different, start something new, to take the pressure off yourself. You might even be experiencing some shoulder, neck, or back pain as a result of sort of stuffing things down that feel like a burden and not really acknowledging that these burdens are affecting you and that something needs to give. The pressure needs to be released because you're taking on too much and you need to free yourself from something that feels like an obligation rather than something that you're pursuing because you want to. You know what I mean? It's like a burden or an obligation, and it's closing you off from yourself the more you keep doing the same thing over and over again. So it's interesting. It's almost like you're needing to let go of a learned behavior or a limited belief, and to clear your calendar a little bit from things that feel like obligations that are making you feel like you're sacrificing yourself, or that you're just completely overwhelmed by burdens, Libra. Let's see, how do other people see Libra right now? How are other people seeing Libra right now? As the Chariot. Libra, other people see you as being able to direct this situation in a manner that serves you. So that's interesting. I think you might not see yourself that way, but certainly you emanate an energy that says, I control the direction of my path, and so even if you're sort of laughing, listening to that, going, I don't feel like I'm in control of anything right now, that's not how people see you. People see you as very determined and very confident, and that you have willpower, and that you choose who you are becoming as you move towards it and give it energy. So people see you as someone who is making active choices about the direction you're moving in, and maybe wondering why you're making those choices. People might be wondering, but at the end of the day, it feels like people see you as sort of harnessing your direction by sort of aligning with things through choice, right? And as we align through choice, that's where we end up sort of seeing the expansion. So if you're choosing to put yourself in situations where separation is necessary, or these beliefs are limiting you, or you're not really expressing your true self, then the question is, how come? Right? That's the question that this reading is asking, and it's guiding you almost to allow these separations that are necessary to happen. And I think other people are like, you can do this, right? They see you as the Chariot. So I feel like other people have a lot of faith that you got this. Let's see what the hopes and fears are around this for Libra. What are the hopes and fears around this for Libra? the Emperor. So that's interesting. Can you trust yourself? That's the hope and fear. I can trust myself or I can't. So you're hoping that you can, but I think you're fearful that you cannot trust yourself to choose a direction. I think you're worried about transformation. You're worried about the transition. Seeing the Death card on the bottom of the deck makes me feel like that's a big concern for you. I think you're worried you're going to regret. You're worried about regrets. You're worried about rocking the boat. So you're opting for the devil you know. And I don't think that that's going to work for you. I actually think that this is going to shift outside of your control if you don't shift it through your own action, which is why we're seeing the Emperor and the Chariot, right? Let's see, what's the potential final outcome here? Okay, we're seeing the Knight of Cups in reverse. I'm going to pull one more card to go with that Knight. It's the Nine of Cups. You're going to move towards your Nine of Cups. See, when the Eight of Cups came out and I said the card that comes after is you being very satisfied with something. So you've got these two cards here. So it's almost like you have the potential to achieve something that feels very fulfilling, or you have the potential to continue to not express your emotions and to sort of hide them and to not allow yourself to be vulnerable enough to pursue what really feels like it's for you. So that tells me that the outcome, it depends on your choice. If you choose to trust yourself in sort of pursuing the unknown path instead of the devil you know, then it could lead to a very satisfying outcome. However, if you decide to go the route of sort of being like, well, I'm stuck and there's nothing I can do about it, I made my bed and now I have to sleep in it, then you could be missing the signs here. And you may end up in a situation where negative emotions start to really block your progress and you start to feel really disappointed, and that excuse me, that you're not really being open to love here. You've closed that door. And so this is very interesting, Libra. It almost feels like there's so much riding on this. But I can't help but feel like intuitively you already know what you need to do, and you just have to put your mind at rest and allow yourself to trust that you will be able to recover from whatever this separation is. And that it's almost like you know intuitively what you need to do, but you just have to do it. That's all that's left, is to take the action, right? And you didn't take the action in the past, and I think that led to a lot of resentment. When I see that King of Wands here. Excuse me. My throat is so dry all of a sudden. 1 second. Ooh, I just had to cough so much. Something tells me that you're not speaking your truth, or you didn't in the past. And that lack of action in the past, ooh, my throat, may be why you're sort of resisting facing this now in the present. Yeah, it's time to face it. And my throat closing up like that makes me feel like it's time to really say your truth. Really express your true feelings, your true thoughts, take the action that feels like the truth, and to do so without fear, with just trusting yourself that you're doing what's right for yourself. Very interesting. Let's close this reading for Libra. Ooh, that card came out fast. Observer. So looking at things from a different perspective. Seeing the Sun card earlier in reverse tells me that it is time to look at things from a different perspective. Because choosing the devil you know out of fear is one perspective for sure, but is it the one that serves your highest good? I don't think so, not according to what I'm seeing in this reading. Oh, holy moly. Libra, your throat chakra is so out of alignment right now. It must be really hard to communicate where you are right now. feels like communication is really difficult right now for some reason. And that working on that's really going to help. Coming to the edge. This is a card that says to me that you're needing to gain that courage. And if you don't feel ready, to sort of have a look at that. Don't ignore it, right? Like, don't ignore that you don't feel ready. Have a look at how to feel like you can sort of not resist these dynamics that are coming to the surface. And if you're not ready for something, to really look at why. What's holding me back? Like, just asking yourself some questions, like, what's holding me back? Do I have limited beliefs that are creating this negative sort of outlook on change and a new path for me? Why do I think that new path is not available to me right now? And really having an honest chat with yourself, really looking at things eye to eye. And for some of you, the obstacle might be a relationship, right? That might be the big why, is because, well, I can't because of this connection. So have a look at it this week. Leave me some comments if this reading resonated. I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you so much for joining me. And I do really hope this reading was helpful. And I look forward to reading for you again soon, my friends. I'm sending you so much love.